Hey YouTube, this is Wrestling Amusement Park Fan 62. Now, last week, I watched a video through my friend here on YouTube, Haunt Former, who did a case study on animated props. So that inspired me to do this video. No, I know it's later, but due to things, I don't really have the time to do it. So today, I want to do a case study for inflatables. Now, Gemmy introduced inflatables in 2001. Now, I know that was a sad time here in the US when they started them, but they have held strong all these years. Now, when Gemmy first started them, they had a lot of the traditional types, such as the smiling face pumpkin, like this picture, or other stuff such as Frankenstein, the Mummy, stuff like that. And over time, they got more and more spectacular. So they started introducing all these new types of inflatables, among other things. Then they started getting into the licensing characters, such as the Peanuts, Disney, and so forth. Well, from 2001 to 2004 or 2005, Gemmy's inflatables had the metal base fans. For I think it was the 2006 season or 2007 season, Gemmy introduced the inflatables with a plastic base. Which is what you see a lot of today. Now, around that time, they started making licensing characters, like the Disney line, which is typically Mickey and Minnie, the Peanuts, which is usually Snoopy, Charlie Brown, sometimes Linus. That's usually about it as far as Peanuts gang goes. Anyway, well, over time, they started to introduce more and more lineups to their line. For the 2008 season, they started to get into LED lights. Now, they didn't exactly start them with inflatables and such at the time, but they started to do a lot of like home decor and stuff like that, such as like icicle lights, among other things. And they've been successful. But over time, they started to transfer them into the inflatables. I'm not entirely sure the year offhand, but they started to put them in inflatables. Now, at first, they started putting them into small ones like this, or like the green and black spider I have. But over time, they started to get cheaper in quality, but still jack the price up. For example, for a while, they started putting cheap fans like what's in the Smiling Pumpkin I showed earlier into 6-foot inflatables, 8-foot inflatables with LED lights. Well, they started to, unfortunately, the LEDs that they chose in those inflatables were not exactly the best quality LED lights they found. Well, over time, while the inflatables were getting better, some with better base fans, better designs, better materials, and so forth, one of the things they started to lack was the lighting for them, because they still were using the same old cheap LED lights. For the 2018 Halloween season, they introduced at low, or 2017, it was either 2017 to 2018, they introduced the 16-foot pumpkin reaper. Now, Home Depot had a 10-foot one a few years back, but they introduced the taller one, like what I have. And at the time, that sold reasonably well. Well, after tax here, at least, it came out to be $180. It was like $169 plus tax. Well, it's 3 years old now, going on 4. Still does pretty well, except the LED lights in it have failed. It only has 2 working LED lights in it as of now, Wednesday, July 8th. And if you pay that kind of money for something, you expect it to last a long time. Now, I understand using the cheaper LED lights in something like this, which was only $15, or even that Smiling one, which was $40, but not something that's $100 plus. Well, in 2008 also, Gemmy started introducing a lot more LED style products, such as the fire and ice kaleidoscope lights, the icicle lights, the shooting star lights, and so much more. I can't remember what they're called offhand, but the things that were found at Lowe's during Christmas time, that was in the shape of an Eiffel Tower one year, the shape of a castle one year, and so much more. Now, I realize at the end of the day, Gemmy is a business. So therefore, they have to make money any way they can and cut costs any way they can. But I feel like the way they cut costs at times, you gotta question. Because an example I have is this. My Pumpkin Reaper, which was $180 after tax, LEDs are the same age as the inflatable itself, but only 2 of them work. I have 2 other inflatables, which is the Hovering Ghost from 2017 or 2018. Its LEDs are fine, as well as the 2018 Tombstone Ghouls. I think that's what it's called. The Tombstone Ghoul is a 1.5 years old now, because I bought it about a week before Halloween. But you would think, and both of those were around $60 to $90, so way less than the 16-foot Pumpkin Reaper. You would think with something that costs at least half or more, the LEDs would not be as good. But at the end of the day, their cost-cutting measures are not the best, and they need to be improved on. Myself, along with other people in the inflatable community, have vented our frustrations multiple times over the years on the quality of the LED inflatables. I've had snowmen that cost $20 to $40. Put them out for one season. 3 weeks later, the LEDs are out. Which I don't think is right. Now, I realize that's not very much, but still, it's not about the money in this case. It's about having quality inflatables. Now, you can do any way you want to light them up once the LEDs go out. I have my own way. But in my opinion, if you are going to put something out like that, you need to make it last as long as you can, and still keeping the quality that you're known for. Now, I realize they've had inflatables that have come out in the past that have been duds, like the inflatable Big Mouth Billy Bass. But the other thing too is this. Back in 2008 or so, they came out with the LED projectors, spotlights, along with the projectors as well. The projectors have been out not too long now, but the spotlights don't use the best quality light LEDs either, because I've had some that have only been used a season and a half and they go out and only lit for like 5-6 hours a night. So what I'm saying to end this video is this. We all have our own opinions on things, which is fine. But at the end of the day, Gemmy is a company and they have to make money. But they need to figure out other ways to make money while cost cutting at the same time.